Hello guys, the Pimp Prawn is back with battle report number 2 for the game that we are playtesting called Brutality. This is a late night game and I'm playing with two of my favorite playtesters, my son and daughter. And my daughter will be running a female-led team of sci-fi people. And basically these fire cult was nearby, the people that my son is playing. They saw this comet streaking through the sky and it made a terrible crash when it landed. They go to investigate what it was, and it's this ship. The ship has crash landed and there's all kinds of free stuff for the taking. In the meantime, my daughter's team were the people that were in that ship. They accidentally flew through some sort of storm in space and crash landed on this, what they think is a planet. They have no idea of Ishtar or anything like that. So they will be trying to defend all of their stuff in their ship and trying to set a distress beacon or something narratively. But what they're really trying to do is scavenge anything they can out of their crates of value before the fire cult gets to them. One more thing I want to mention is that we have decided that this battlefield is in the Twilight Fields. So if they are searching an objective and they roll a 1, shadow people who work for Ishtar will hop out, give someone an unsavable wound, and they can no longer look through that crate. There's something in there that the shadow people don't want them to see. If they roll a 10, the midnights, these ghostly knights, will roam across the field and they kill anybody that they find above ground. What they'll have to do in order to hide from them is, during their action phase, do nothing and dig. And in other words, that will hide that model. If the midnights go over them during that turn, they will be safe. But otherwise, the midnights kill any model that they catch up to. The objectives for this game, even though there's a lot of stuff scattered out that fell out of the ship, the objectives for this game will be the 4 things that have green around them, that have flock. So it's that crate, that barrel, and that barrel. The other things are just to show that stuff fell out of the ship. Alright, this is the end of turn 1, and a lot of interesting things have happened. First off, on the, I guess the Space Rebels, I'll call them, Space Rebel side, the little blue guy ran up there and got themselves a victory point, and this guy over here ran over and was not able to get a victory point. He ran all the way over here and was not able to get a victory point because running takes your action. She took a sniper shot at this guy right here and did nothing to him, so that was good for my son. And this guy ran up here and pretty badly wounded that priest. So what happened on his side is he moved some people up, and the banner guy casted Shroud on him and to increase his armor save by 2, and then catapulted him all the way from here all the way over here to the center of the board before he activated. So he was hoping that he would be able to activate and cast some magic. Unfortunately, the tumble, he hit his head on those barrels when he landed, and he was confused. And he activated next, ran up, and shot him, dealing 2 wounds. He disarmed him twice, which support don't have weapons anyway, so it doesn't matter. They can't lose their powers. And finally, when he went to activate, he had only 1 wound left out of 3, because he dealt 2, and he basically paralyzed on himself. He rolled a 10 trying to heal himself and died. So that was the fateful end to him. This guy got injured because he tried to cast Shroud on the dead guy before he was dead and failed. His banner allows him to reroll willpower checks, and he failed again, so he decided to take a bit of his buddy's soul to make it go off. And the final score for the end of turn 1 is 2-0. My daughter has 2, my son has 0. This is the bottom of turn 2, and a lot has happened. So for starters, my son was down 1 model, and my daughter is down none at the start of turn 2. So he automatically gets to activate first. He took his crossbowman and shot at this guy, and he did a wound and bleeding. When she activated the purple guy, ran him over here, and stopped the bleeding for him. Then he activated his archer at him and completely missed. She shot the crossbow guy with her sniper rifle, and he completely saved it on a 1 or 2, which was amazing. Then the banner guy moved up and casted Shroud on the injured man, and the sword guy that's over here was on this objective. He catapulted him over here, and he rolled confused, but he was able to save it, so he did not get confused. He was planning on the following turn assaulting this fast guy with the melee guy, so hopefully he'd get the upper hand. She decided to run around behind the melee guy and assault. She whiffed both of her attacks, and he turned around and did 1 critical hit and another hit, so he did 3 damage. She didn't save any of it, and he murdered the blue guy. Then she activated him and got a victory point, and activated him, and he shot at the icon. The icon lost a wound and is now bleeding. So the final score for the end of round 2 is my son 2, my daughter 3. The bottom of turn 3 of this extremely brutal game finds more people dead, unfortunately. So the very first person to activate was the crossbowman. He ran up to the icon bearer to stop his bleeding. Next was this guy James over here. He looted that crate and got another victory point. It was then that the longbowman, the archer, shot at this nuisance sniper back here. He disarmed her and he did a wound. She used her movement instead of aiming to pick up her weapon, and she fired at the banner guy. The banner guy luckily saved it, and nothing happened. The next person to activate was the swordsman, who got a victory point. And finally, this guy lit up the icon bearer and did 2 unsaved wounds. So the final score for the bottom of turn 3 is 3-5. At the bottom of turn 4 and the end of the game, it is a tight game, and I'll tell you why. First off, the crossbowman moves up and tries to, number 1, he is not going to allow the purple guy to loot that crate because he's within 6 inches. So he's negating that objective right there, and he tried to do something to James over there. He misses James. James tries to shoot back and also misses. So that was a big whiff party. Next up is the archer. The archer gets 1 victory point for my son, and she tries to shoot the archer, and she does shoot him, and she also disarms him and does 1 wound. So he's down to 2 wounds, and that's my little symbol for his bow being knocked out of his hands. Next up is the swordsman. He gets 1 victory point, and this guy tries to lay into the archer and shoot him off. Being that he's a pistolier, he gets 2 shots at 10 inches. He even aimed and missed both of his shots, which was a 4 or higher. So that was pretty ridiculous. And finally, the purple guy comes from around here, being he's got 10 inches of movement, and tries to ambush my crossbowman and rolls a 1 for the charge. So, at the very end of the game, my son and daughter tie 5-5. So, at the very end, what it really was is that my daughter's luck really just crapped out on her, because she shot with this guy and missed. She shot 2 shots with this guy and missed. And she tried to charge this guy from behind to get first strike, and she rolled a 1 for that. So, this is also the very first mission, literally out of probably 50 missions that I've played, where nobody, when they were looting an objective, rolled a 1 or a 10. No Midnights came into play, and no Shadow People came into play. So this was a pretty awesome game, and did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this, and there will be many more, and thank you.